So I'm here with Timo, who runs the e.ON Drive Test Lab. I'll let you sort of explain probably what you do best here, but it's quite the setup, I must say. It's got definitely the most unique sort of test benches that I've seen when it comes to EV and this side of the market.
Cool, yeah, so welcome. The e.ON Testing Lab has just invented itself a little bit over the last 12 years. Now that's a new facility which we opened beginning of that year, which is 10,000 square meters in total. And one of the big focus area, which we now also see over here, is just high power DC charging. We are one of the not so many ones in Europe which are capable to already do megawatt charging, which is really interesting for several scenarios, like truck charging. And yeah, so it's really interesting, and it's really makes a lot of fun to do that, right? I think you now had been the chance to have a few minutes here. And have you already been in the climate chambers at -40?
Not yet, no.
Okay, then we should do that later on. I think we should take it.
Yeah, so like just give us a little rundown of, I'd say, what's the most popular sort of test that you see when it's across the board of, you know, someone that may have a wall charger that they use versus seeing, you know, the big charging stations at, say, some of the large gas stations here in Europe when they're on the side of the road. What is the #1 test that you guys do that is sort of the make or break for a pass or a fail?
I think we do just everything from PV battery, home solutions, charging at home, charging on the highway. The highest focus we have is safety. Because the products must be as safe as possible to take care that our customers are safe and can do whatever they need also on that side, right? So therefore the highest grade is for us every time safety, independent which product we are talking about. Yeah? And then we will talk about customer satisfaction. We're talking about charging powers. I think the thing which makes the most fun, right, is just doing under climate conditions. Yeah, so really finding out if the product will work at -40 or at +50. So how was the experience with -40 degree?
Absolutely freezing. I've driven in the snow once when I was karting, and it was probably, that's as close as that'll be, but it's insane. I think even just opening the door with all of the sort of cold air hitting you in the face, it's pretty nuts.
Yeah, and that's where our chargers need to work, right? That's because we have customers which are living under that climate conditions. Now we are bypassing also our other climate chambers for the smaller products, as we have AC wall boxes. You have been in the big one for the DC chargers, right? That's now where we're bypassing our AC charging infrastructure.
Also, when it comes to integration of those sort of charging solutions, I think we're seeing now, as the charging is getting quicker, it's a lot easier to have it mesh well with your day-to-day life. So how do you see with what you guys are doing here with looking at the super fast charging of, say, I'm going to the grocery store and I can plug in my car, and by the time I'm done shopping for 15 or 20 minutes, come back out and it is fully charged and ready to go?
Yeah, I'm now doing it since 5 years. I'm driving full electric, and I'm driving through whole Europe. Since the longest distance I was driving in a row was 1,500 kilometers to Italy. And there's no difficulty to do that, right? It took me 15 hours to do that, which is totally fine. Also not much faster with a normal petrol car. If you do some brakes, if you don't do brakes, different, but healthy-wise, come on. So therefore I think the high power charging is already today on a level where it's really convenient to drive. So I have a car, and this is my Hyundai Ioniq 5, which takes me 15 minutes to charge. It's totally fine, yeah? To get a coffee, to go to the toilet, coming back and driving the next 300 kilometers, totally sufficient already, yeah? And so you are already today, in Europe, I think you can drive everywhere without getting panic that you can't reach. It be more convenient as much higher the power gets, so coming back to 5 minutes, whatever charging, but also on the other side, it's just, do you really need that? Interesting question. Do you really need a car which is capable to drive 1,000 kilometers in a row? How often do you drive that? I don't know. Yeah, so things we are saying. So also the customer need to rethink. Yeah, it's every time it's easier to get bigger batteries, high power charging, whatever. But then it's really interesting, do you need that or not? Yeah, but megawatt charging will be, at least for bus, trucks, depot solutions, a place to be, because it's quite clear the maximum driving time defined by law. Then you have the defined pause time, defined by law. So then it's quite clear, in that time you need to get the energy in the truck to drive the next driving period, right? And then we're still finding and working with a lot of manufacturers to find the right solutions. And also, if you see here in the back, just to find out how it gets convenient for a truck driver, which is totally different from a normal EV driver, right?
How long do you think it'll be until we sort of see full adoption on that side, where it's a little more in the background of what we're used to, not necessarily seeing more Teslas, more of the Hyundais on the road, but seeing in the background more of those sort of large trucks being fully electric and doing that thing.
So we see that already more and more. So also currently we get a delivery with a fully electric truck. One of the first ones which also now deliver here. So we also see there that our partners, where we are ordering materials, and then the companies which are delivering, transport company knowing that they can charge here, meaning they already bring here the equipment with full electric trucks. Most likely because they're fearing range topics, whatever, and they know that they already can charge here. It's a great cooperation on that. But I think we see that coming more in different phases. So we have started seeing just person driving, then we see the first smaller trucks, 3.5 tons, 7.5 tons. We also see the bigger ones coming more and more, right? But I think this will still take some time, as they have a really long driving distance, more difficulties around. So I think it will be, each of these cubes will grow more and more, and I think then in the end we will also see the big trucks. I think I have still one topic for you, which is we have one e-scooter, which I would just think that could be interesting for you. Do you like to take a ride?
Absolutely, let's do it.
Then let's do that.
Well, thank you for an awesome day of cold and crazy fast scooters. It's been really cool to see what you guys do, and hopefully I'm back in the future. I think we have an RC race that has to happen at some point.
Yeah, I think we just already aligned about an RC race, so really great that you have been here. Thanks for that, and I hope it made some fun, and I think we will have much more sessions in the future.
Absolutely, thank you.
Thanks.